The opening day of the Finch West LRT was one of those Toronto moments where the weather, the crowd, and the city's complicated relationship with transit all converged into a single experience. I arrived early in the morning, just before sunrise while it was still dark, only to find hundreds of people already lined up outside, braving the cold as snowflakes drifted down from the night sky. The line wrapped around the station entrance as far as the eye can see, with people shifting their weight and pulling scarves tighter around their faces, creating a scene that both felt festive and slightly chaotic. Despite the discomfort, there was a clear sense that people wanted to be present for this moment. After all the years of construction, delays, political announcements, promises, and uncertainty, the Finch West LRT was finally opening its doors. One of the first things that I noticed was how many staff were present. TTC employees, Metrolinx representatives, customer service agents, security, and onboarding support teams were scattered everywhere. Their presence was very noticeable along the entire line all day long, but the initial organization left something to be desired. The crowd shuffled in various directions without clear instructions, and for a brief period, the lines seemed to dissolve into several competing lines. People weren't sure if they were supposed to wait on the side of the entrance or on the other, and those at the back had even less of an idea as to what was happening. Fortunately, staff quickly stepped in, regrouped, and restored order. Within a short window, the confusion dissipated. Communication improved, and the boarding process proceeded far more smoothly. Considering the weather and the sheer number of people eager to board the very first train, the recovery was handled well. Aside from the shuffling to get in at the beginning, overall I would say that they had orchestrated a well-organized day. The first train departed Finch West Station at approximately 7:20 a.m. The interior of the vehicle was clean, bright, climate-controlled, and noticeably more comfortable than the old articulated buses that once dominated the Finch corridor. People took photos, inspected the layout, and shared the sense of curiosity that accompanies a new piece of infrastructure. In terms of design and ride quality, the LRT represents a clear step forwards. It is quieter, smoother, and more spacious, creating a more dignified experience than the buses it replaces. But as the train began its westward journey, it became immediately clear that the operational performance would not match the excitement of the interior. According to my own recording, the first trip of about 11 kilometers took roughly 45 minutes. That is significantly lower than what was originally envisioned for the line. And the reason for this slow pace was visible almost immediately: the lack of full signal priority. The LRT frequently slowed to a crawl or came to complete stops at intersections where cross-traffic had priority. This created a stop-and-wait pattern more reminiscent of a streetcar stuck in downtown traffic than a modern rapid transit system. Riders looked around in confusion, surprised that a brand-new rail line was moving at speeds so similar or even slower to the bus service it replaced. Another element contributing to the lower speeds was the actual driving behavior of the operators. Like TTC streetcar operators, LRT operators tend to drive conservatively, especially on new systems. They accelerate slowly, brake early, and maintain moderate speeds even when the roadway ahead is clear. This is understandable on day one, but it does reinforce the perception that the line is not designed or not allowed to run at speeds its infrastructure can theoretically support. The resulting pace feels cautious and deliberate rather than efficient and rapid. Despite the slow speed, one positive became very clear: the train handles winter weather exceptionally well. The snowfall thickened as the morning went on, coating the road surface with a slippery layer, but the LRT moved confidently through the snow and icy conditions. Acceleration was smooth, traction was firm, and the vehicle showed no signs of struggling with the conditions. For anyone who has endured the unpredictable delays of the 36 Finch West bus on a snowing morning, this is a genuine improvement. Winter reliability is one of the system's strongest advantages, at least from what I experienced. By about 10 a.m., trains were running at full rush hour frequency of every 6 minutes, the maximum scheduled capacity for the Finch West LRT. This steady flow created a predictable and reliable service pattern that the old bus network often struggled to achieve. Even with its speed limitations, the consistency of the LRT schedule is a meaningful upgrade for residents who depend on reliable transit along Finch. Still, opening day exposed not just operational flaws but deeper planning issues. A significant number of people who came to the opening actually believed that the Finch West LRT went to Pearson Airport. Several riders asked staff where the airport platform was, only to be met with surprise when they learned that the line ends well before Etobicoke, let alone the terminal. Their confusion was understandable. For decades, Toronto has been severely lacking a direct airport transit connection, and many assumed reasonably, might I add, that at least a new east-west rail line would be built to fill that gap. When those riders realized that the line does not go to the airport, some openly questioned what exactly was being celebrated. This does tie into a larger issue. The Finch West LRT, while useful, is not a comprehensive east-west transit solution. It covers only the western portion of Finch Avenue and stops well short of Yonge Street. Toronto still lacks a seamless mid-city east-west rapid transit line, something that most major cities developed decades ago. The Shepherd subway does not connect the east side to the west side. The Finch West LRT does not connect the west side to the east side. Even the Eglinton Crosstown LRT, further south, will fall short of reaching the airport or extending fully across the city. Toronto remains segmented. Most east-west trips still require riders to funnel through the congested Line 1 subway. What makes the Finch West line feel even more incomplete is its location. In some ways, it feels arbitrary. While the project does merit transit investment, the arguments supporting the project, reducing traffic, improving travel times, and supporting local communities, could be applied to almost any major thoroughfare in the city. The selection of Finch as an LRT corridor without connecting it fully to the broader network on either end creates a line that is valuable but limited. This corridor improves local service but does not transform mobility across the region. Without a connection to Finch Station in the east or to Pearson in the west, the line is inherently less efficient than it could be or should be. This is arguably a more significant flaw than its lower speed. Another element worth noting is the nature of the LRT itself. In practice, the Finch West line feels like a hybrid between a modern light rail system and a glorified streetcar. It has right-of-way separation and dedicated center lanes. These are significant upgrades over any surface bus route, but it also shares many operational characteristics with traditional streetcars, such as intersection delays, conservative operator speeds, and interactions with surface traffic patterns. Yet the improvements should not be dismissed either. The dedicated center-running right-of-way, isolated station platforms, and modern vehicles provide a far superior experience compared to a mixed-traffic streetcar. It is not a subway, but it is also not merely a bus line with rails. It exists somewhere between the two. Outside Toronto, the Finch West LRT's performance is being watched closely by cities such as Hamilton and Mississauga. Both have LRT projects of their own underway, and local officials, residents, and business groups are observing the Finch West line to gauge what they should be able to expect. The slow speeds, signal delays, and incomplete connectivity have raised concerns. People in those cities are asking whether their LRT will face similar challenges and whether the trade-offs of surface rail, such as construction disruption, reduced road lanes, and long-term timelines, are worth it if the outcome is not truly rapid transit. Toronto's implementation of the Finch West LRT has become a regional case example, not just a local one, but how the lessons learned here might influence decisions across the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area. Reflecting on the day as a whole, the opening of the Finch West LRT can be summed up in two words: pride and underwhelming. It was a clear, honest illustration of what the line is, a transit improvement with meaningful benefits but undeniable limitations. The staff handled the crowds admirably after the initial confusion, the trains ran reliably in difficult winter weather, and the overall service pattern, once fully launched, was consistent and predictable. At the same time, the line is undeniably slow, lacks full signal priority, and fails to connect to either Finch Station or the airport, two endpoints that would have dramatically improved its utility and efficiency. The Finch West LRT is an important addition to Toronto's transit network, but it is not the bold, transformative east-west spine that our city needs. It improves the rider experience along the corridor, brings modern infrastructure to the northwest, and offers reliable winter travel, but it also highlights the shortcomings in Toronto's broader transit planning philosophy. Incremental improvements without the connective reach or operational efficiency that major cities require. Opening day made one thing clear: the Finch West LRT is a step forwards, but it is only a step. It fills a local need, but it does not complete the larger picture. And until Toronto commits to building fully connected, fully prioritized east-west rapid transit corridors, projects like this will continue to feel like partial solutions to much larger problems. As an aside, I have made available unnarrated and unedited videos of the first day of opening, including the first train trips of the day for the Finch West LRT, outside and inside of Finch West Station at the beginning of the day early in the morning, and a full trip that you are very welcome to watch if you're interested in doing so. I hope that you liked the video. If so, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed and want to be notified of new videos that are released, please click on the Art Toronto button here. This is the video that I would recommend for you to watch next, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. Here's the playlist for all of the latest in transit news and views that you're going to find very informative and interesting. And finally, here is the latest video. Thanks for watching and happy transiting.